Beautiful people, I'm going to break this down in 3 parts on why I believe Max Holloway will knock out Conor McGregor, and I think I know the shot that he will knock him out with, or at least the shot that will create the finishing sequence. Listen, I got it down to the T in my Gaethje versus Ilya prediction, so bear with me. First part, the resume. Conor McGregor, aside from 20-year-old Max Holloway, has 0 wins over any current UFC fighters. While Max, on the other hand, and also, before I forget, Conor's last win was 8 years ago versus Donald Cerrone, nearly 8 years ago, I believe 7.5 years. And since the end of 2016 until now, nearly 10 years, he has only 2 victories. Donald Cerrone and Eddie Alvarez. On the other hand, Max Holloway has numerous wins over current UFC fighters, but most importantly, he has a win over the current undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Justin Gaethje. Number 4 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet, Justin Gaethje, has a victory over the current BMF champion of the world, one of the baddest men to ever do it, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Arguably has a victory over the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet and the greatest featherweight of all time, Volkanovski, in that second fight. Listen, beautiful people, I believe that Max won that second fight fair and square and clearly, and that is why they had their trilogy. If Volkanovski definitely won that second fight, they wouldn't have fought for the 3rd time. This is, alongside many other incredible victories like top 10 contender Arnold Allen, Yair Rodriguez, Andre Fili, the list goes on and on. I mean, when you talk about Max's wins, and since in the last 10 years, look at who Max Holloway beat. Countless fighters. I can go on and on for days. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Yair Rodriguez, Calvin Kattar, Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar. I mean, so many crazy wins in the last 10 years, while only Conor has 2. Eddie and Cerrone. And we know how Eddie's UFC career ended, the man did not have the best UFC career, and same goes for Cerrone. I believe he left the UFC on a 4-fight losing streak, got destroyed by everybody, Cerrone did. So that's the first part. The second part is the skill set. Which style will Conor implement? He's lost in between style. He doesn't know if he wants to box you, the high guard, we see the training footage, Conor, the walk forward, high guard, powerhouse, or the old fluid Conor, karate stance, axe kicks, spinning wheel kicks, light on his feet, or the Conor that will wrestle the same way he wrestled Max Holloway in their first fight when Max was 21 years old. And now that Max lost his last fight versus Oliveira by grappling, who's to say that Conor will be like, you know what? I already beat this guy in this aspect of mixed martial arts, and he lost his last fight in MMA with the same sequence that I beat him in, with the same sequence that I know I can beat him with. But here's the thing. Conor, it's impossible for him to maintain, striking and wrestling for 5 rounds. It is impossible. This fight is 5 rounds, not 3. And Max is not the same kid that he was. While on the other hand, Max Holloway got countless keys to victory. Every single southpaw gives Conor McGregor trouble. Dustin Poirier, the second fight. Dustin Poirier, the third fight. Nate, the first fight. Nate, the second fight. And, that's why Conor, most of the fighters that he fought were orthodox. And history shows that all southpaws give southpaws problems. And Max Holloway is the best switch hitter in the sport right now. He is the best. He was originally an orthodox fighter, But he fights so fluently in the southpaw stance now that you don't even know that he was an orthodox fighter before. And the reason why he became a southpaw, became switch hitter, is because most of his opponents target his calf. Is because he's, extremely heavy on the lead foot because of, mostly boxing stance. Even though the man is a kickboxer, Max Holloway, at heart he is a kickboxer. Look at the way that he throws the body kick. I mean, go watch his last win versus Dustin Poirier. Look how many body kicks he threw and how effortless and how damaging they were. And listen, I got something for you in the next section. The next section, beautiful people, which is the final chapter that I'm going to be talking about, the lifestyle outside the octagon. Max Holloway doesn't party, doesn't drink, family man. All he does is train, spend time with his family, and play video games. Gotta love Max Holloway. While Conor, on the other hand, hasn't fought for exactly half a decade. Hasn't won a fight in nearly a decade. 2 fights in a decade, which is crazy. But most importantly, Conor drinks alcohol. He owns an alcohol brand, for God's sake. And we know that alcohol damages 2 things predominantly: your nerves and your liver. And you know who goes to the liver better than anybody in the sport right now? Max Holloway, with his left and right hooks to the body in the pocket and his body kick from the distance to the liver. I mean, he sinks in the body kick straight to the liver, goes slice it through your liver. And that is why, beautiful people, that is why I believe that the finishing, Max Holloway will knock out Conor McGregor, you will see. But the finishing sequence will be opened up by Max's body work. He's either going to hurt Conor with a body kick, or he's going to hurt Conor with a body shot, punch. It's like, go back to Max Holloway's knockout over Perez. The way that he knocked him out with the body kick, the way that body kick landed with 0 setups, 0 telegraph behind that body kick. Perez never saw it coming, and same thing goes for Dustin Poirier in Max's last victory. What broke down Dustin throughout all 5 rounds was because of that body kick. I mean, he threw over 20 body kicks, but he wasn't really putting much weight behind them. It's because he was afraid of Dustin's counter right check hook. And Conor doesn't have the same counter check hook that Dustin has. Conor has a better straight left hand than Dustin Poirier, but even though Dustin Poirier is a southpaw, his power punch is his lead hand, his check hook. And that is why Max didn't really put much behind the body kick, is because he was scared to get countered by Dustin's lead hand. But he will not have the same worry with Conor. And Dustin is always dangerous until the final second of the fight. His power carries, but you cannot say the same thing for Conor McGregor. Conor has never wobbled a fighter after the second round. Go back and watch his entire career. Never wobbled a single fighter after the second round, which is absolutely crazy. But when you combine all those 3 factors, number 1, the resume, number 2, the fighting style, and number 3, the life outside the cage, when you combine all those 3 things together, you come out with one outcome. Max Holloway hurting Conor's body severely and finishing him late. And that is what I believe will happen, beautiful people. Listen, I've definitely been wrong before, but I don't know, when it comes, to dissecting the game, I feel like I do a pretty good job. I predicted the Ilia Topuria fight perfectly versus Gaethje, my most recent MMA prediction. And I'm doing the same here, beautiful people. I am picking Max Holloway to knock out Conor McGregor, possibly at the end of the second, end of the third, but this fight will not go until the 5th round. That's what I see. Either, most likely, 3rd or 4th round finish for Max. But who's to say that Max can't even put him down late? Conor has a crazy adrenaline dump with him not being active, gassing at the end of the 1st, and Max putting the nail in the coffin in the 2nd. So all I'm saying is this, beautiful people. I am picking Max Holloway to knock out Conor McGregor after the 1st round.